What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this late breaking news video here on Anfield Agenda. As I'm sure you're aware, some of you may have seen my preview earlier on today that was filmed last night under the illusion that Mohamed Salah was going to be available for the game against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Well, as you probably found out during the day, Mohamed Salah won't be available for that game. But unfortunately, as the late papers have come out and the embargoed news has come out, stuff has gotten a bit worse for Liverpool Football Club. So I'm going to go through it over the next few minutes, asking you guys, as always, to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Look, I would usually say drop a like on the video if you enjoy it and hit the subscribe button, but you're not going to enjoy this video with regard to the substance of it. So let's just say don't let it ruin your Friday night. Now, we are, of course, going to be here for a watch-along tomorrow, kicking off from 2 p.m. The game starts at 3 p.m. against Nottingham Forest. It isn't on UK TV, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. But I'm not going to hang around. I'm going to get into it because this is a bombshell. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, Alisson Becker's injury is so serious that he could miss most of the run-in, but not season ending. Now, this comes from Paul Joyce, and as we know, Paul Joyce is deadly serious. Paul Joyce doesn't muck about. Paul Joyce doesn't tell lies. It doesn't stop there though, because just when you thought the bad news was finished, Mohamed Salah, well, realistically, the best that we can hope for here seemingly is that Mohamed Salah is back for the Manchester City game on March 10th. Now that would of course rule him out of tomorrow's game against Nottingham Forest and Thursday's away trip to take on Sparta Prague in the Europa League, a 5:45 p.m. kickoff for that one. So I'm going to basically go through this information and trying to give you my take on it and see how we're going to be fixed for the remaining fixtures. Again, this story about Mohamed Salah comes in from Paul Joyce, so you can be 100% assured that it is legitimate. So look, with regards to Alisson Becker, well, there's two ways we can look at this. We can be adults about it, be honest about it and say, yeah, it is going to be a massive loss. But then again, Caoimhín Kelleher has stepped up in recent times and has been performing really, really well. As much as I'm a huge Caoimhín Kelleher fan, I've got to be honest about it. Not having Alisson Becker for what could be a pivotal part of our season is certainly not going to be looked at as a good thing, is it? Doesn't have an actual return day for him, but late into the season, could miss most of the run-in, as Paul Joyce said, but not season ending. Now, what does not season ending mean? Honestly, at this moment, I haven't got a clue what not season ending means. Does it mean he's going to be back for literally the last couple of weeks of the season? I don't know. But there are a lot of questions that Liverpool fans, myself included, are going to rightly have around this. Why is it that these injuries seem to be far worse than expected a lot of the time? So for Mohamed Salah, as an example, it was initially reported, and by the way, when I say this, I'm saying this to give credit and not to knock at all. It was officially reported by Steve Hoare of Redmen TV that Mohamed Salah could be a doubt for games a while back, saying he had a little bit of fatigue and cramping after coming on in one of our games where he came on just before halftime or just around halftime. So Steve was spot on, is what I'm saying about what Steve had to say. But that seems to have gone from cramping and fatigue into a relapse of an injury by the sounds of things. So we don't really know what the lay of the land is because the club have been very coy about the information that is going out. But we were certainly not expecting Mohamed Salah to come back for 45 minutes and then be out for 2 and a bit more weeks. That's not a good sign whichever way you look at it. And you got to ask, who's at fault there? Was it the player? Was it the manager? Was it the medical department? Were they looking to push back Mo a little bit too soon? Or was it needs must as we look to maintain our league title push? I don't know, but this season feels like it's been one injury crisis after another, and it feels like we've had a false dawns with players coming back. Look, I'm not qualified to give you the answer on this. I truly don't know, but something doesn't feel great about the medical side of things at Liverpool Football Club. Now let's look at the Alisson Becker part of this as well. It was a similar thing. Initially we were told Alisson Becker had a hamstring injury and a couple of weeks was probably going to be the prognosis. That couple of weeks, again, seems to be massively underplayed. And now we're talking about months, a couple of months perhaps, or the last bit of the season, him being available. That is huge. And whoever has misdiagnosed this or misreported this, or it's horrible. It's horrible news at a time where we need as much positivity as possible. And trust me, I am trying to be positive, as much as it might not look like it tonight. I still believe we can, of course, go and pick up the points tomorrow, get through in the Europa League against Sparta Prague over 2 legs. And we always knew Alisson wasn't going to be back for the Manchester City game, but to see that it's now touch and go whether Mo will be back. Initially, I've got to be honest, when I read this news tonight, my first thoughts were, are we going to see a similar thing happen tomorrow with Darwin Núñez and Dominic Szoboszlai? If either of those two guys play all of or part of the game, are we going to see the same thing? Are they being rushed back? And it isn't just them. Let's go back a little bit further. Trent Alexander-Arnold, knee injury. That was okay, felt a little something. Now all of a sudden, he's out for a prolonged period of time. Something needs to be looked into here. I don't know the answers. You don't know the answers. Why would we? We're just football fans. But it doesn't feel right when players are coming back and all of a sudden they're straight back out again then for an even longer period of time. Somebody has to start answering questions from the medical side, because it's certainly, I'm sure, no good to Jurgen Klopp as well. If he's being told one thing and making his plans and maybe managing minutes of other players and the belief that these other guys are going to be back and they're not, well then what do you say from there? I really don't know, my friends, but we're going to have to find a way. Jurgen's going to have to find a way to navigate through this, get to the international break, and see where we are after that. Now, easier said than done, right? We've got a massive game coming up against Manchester City next weekend, a game that could be the deciding factor of our season. Hopefully Mo is back. Alisson won't be back. Trent won't be back. Szoboszlai potentially yes. Darwin potentially yes, if they don't pick up another knock. So I don't know where to go with this, but I'm going to leave it over to you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As you know, today was supposed to be my day off, but I couldn't not bring you this news when it dropped about 25 minutes ago. So I jumped straight onto my computer, set up my scene, and I'm here giving you guys that news. I wish it was better news, I truly do. But again, we will see you tomorrow at 2. One final thing before we finish up, and I guess if you want to put this in the good news category, fair enough. Football's lawmakers, IFAB, have decided to scrap plans for blue cards as part of trials for a new sin bin. Although the blue cards are unlikely to be implemented, sin bins are due to be given the green light when the International Football Association and FIFA meet. Again, what's the difference? Blue card, sin bin, it all sounds ridiculous. Stop messing around with our game, please. Surely you've seen the public reaction to this. Nobody wants sin bins in football. Sort out the handball rule, sort out offside, sort out VAR, and we'd be a lot more happier. So, my friends, I've had my say. Now it's over to you guys. Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section about the Alisson Becker situation, the Mohamed Salah situation, and of course, Liverpool situation as we look to fight on 3 more fronts between now and the end of the season. Obviously, you probably know as well, Bayern Munich drew tonight, so that makes Xabi Alonso's likelihood of winning the Bundesliga even stronger. If Leverkusen win their game in hand tomorrow, they will be 10 points clear with 10 games to go at the top of the Bundesliga. Right, over to you guys. I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for the watch along. Until then, sweet dreams.